So recently, the media has actually done a much better job of covering the fact that Donald Trump cannot give a speech and get from point A to point B without taking about 20 detours in between there. And Donald Trump, of course, knowing that the media was starting to pick up on this and pointing out, hey, this is very weird. Why do you do this? Do you have mental problems? Trump has now come out with a new talking point to let us know that all of this is actually totally intentional. Just like it was intentional when he screwed up Nancy Pelosi and Nikki Haley, or when he refers to President Biden as President Obama. It's all intentional because the man doesn't make mistakes. So here is Donald Trump at a rally this past Friday explaining why he goes off on these tangents. Here he is.
I do the weave. You know what the weave is? I'll talk about like 9 different things and they all come back brilliantly together. And it's like, and friends of mine that are like English professors, they say, it's the most brilliant thing I've ever seen. But the fake news, you know what they say? He rambled. That's not rambling. When you have, what you do is you get off a subject to mention another little tidbit, then you get back onto the subject, and you go through this and you do it for 2 hours, and you don't even mispronounce one word.
Telling a crowd in Pennsylvania the other day, rambling incoherently, actually part of a brilliant strategy he calls the weave, Joe. I like how he lays it out like it's from a beautiful mind, like he's seeing things the rest of us don't see, and all the pieces of the puzzle are moving together. And I also love the idea that he famously surrounds himself with English professors from our finest institutions.
Well, yeah, I mean, it only makes sense because, after all, his great-great-uncle went to MIT.
That's right, folks. You absolute idiots out there in the press. He's not doing it because he has dementia. He's not doing it because he is suffering from cognitive decline. No, you morons. It's because he is doing the weave. Let that be the new dance craze of 2024, folks. The weave! Where you start off talking about one thing, then get distracted by your own thoughts, and then you go over here. And then you weave back this way. And then you weave back once again, folks. We're doing the weave, according to Donald Trump. And that was the most embarrassing thing I think I've ever done on a video. But there it is. It's now going to live forever. But the big point, of course, is that Donald Trump cannot admit that he screws up. Because in his mind, he doesn't screw up. Now, I have sat here, just this week sat here and read you clips and quotes from Donald Trump giving these rally speeches where nothing makes sense, but more importantly, nothing fits together. You can't weave these weird random thoughts together and act like, no, that it all comes back at the end, right? Like a callback, as they would call it if you were doing a stand-up comedy set, right? You call back to a previous joke. We're like, and then here she comes with the potato salad. And everybody goes crazy. Oh, the potato salad joke. No, Trump's not doing that. He is going off on tangents, likely because he could be suffering from something as simple as undiagnosed ADHD, right? That's not that big of a deal, shouldn't be a deal breaker for voters. Or it could be because he is suffering from something far more serious that could be indicative of cognitive impairment. Not decline, but actual literal impairment. And I do believe personally that that is what we're seeing. But more than that, we're also seeing the psychological symptoms of him being unable to admit that he has the neurological symptoms, right? Because that's what we're looking at here. These tangents, these divergents, whatever you want to call them, those are neurological issues. But his inability to admit that those are issues, that is psychological. And that is why I've been repeating recently, talking about the psychological part of it, the biological part, which is of course neurological. So there's problems with this dude across the board. Dangerous, bad problems that he is denying to the public, that he is telling us that when we see them, don't believe it. Don't believe the media when they say I get off topic. Oh God, no. Because after all, folks, we're just doing the weave. Hi, everyone. This here is little Athena. And Athena would like to know why you haven't subscribed to Fair and Balanced yet. So please, don't let Athena down. Subscribe today.